guys and gals? Nary here from Drakewing Game, and as some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, June's Path. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. All that for as little as $5, y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. So do you have any plans for what you're going to do after your parents allow you to leave the house tomorrow? Just the same as always. School and practice. Oh, and speaking of school, yeah? You know how I said that Ayaka-san has been dropping by notes for me? I do. What about it? Well, she's also been dropping some homework by, and, well, kinda haven't done it, any of it. Aren't you going to react to that at all? Why would I? I could see this punchline coming from a mile away. You could? Of course. I never expect you to do your homework out of your own volition. Gah! You really have no faith in me, do you? Knowing you and not having faith in you are two different things. Doesn't sound all that different to me. Well, anyway, could I ask you to help me with it? Sure, no problem. Wait, really? You will? Why are you so surprised? I've already been helping you study anyway. How would this be any different? When you put it that way, I guess it really isn't. Well, it might be different in the sense that it'll be much easier. Trying to get you to remember stuff is definitely a Herculean task. I don't know the meaning of the word Herculean, but I'm just going to assume that was an insult. More like friendly quip. Whatever, as long as you help me with my homework, you can joke as much as you like. Oh, really? As much as I like, you say? Maybe not as much as you like. Alright, just get me your books and I'll help you. But I absolutely won't do it for you. Be aware of that. Ah! Well, depending on how big the pile is, I might be a bit more generous with information, so we'll move through it faster. Yay! So easy to please. Once we get started, June remains seated on his desk, diligently working. He only stops a few times to ask me questions, and then gets right back to it once he understands the subject matter. Even if he hates studying, his focus is really scary once he gets going. I definitely expected him to be a little more involved in this process. Right now, I'm just sitting next to him, idly twiddling my thumbs and waiting for him to call me again. Ran into a problem? Huh? Oh, not really. I was just thinking over this question. The text is pretty long, so it's confusing me a little. Ah, yeah, some of them are designed with that in mind. They throw a bunch of pointless information at you to see if you can separate them from the important stuff. That's super annoying. Right, once again. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I kind of wish his laziness would win out just so I could have something to do more interesting than just staring at the ceiling. I guess I might be an enabler. Watching him just sitting quietly and studying is also a pleasant feeling somehow. It just feels so different from the usual June, bouncing around all over the place and running his mouth whenever possible. Kind of like watching a ratty little puppy dog sleeping. Great, now my mind has further demoted him from child to lapdog, or cat. Man, he'd be super mad if he could peer into my thoughts right now. Still, he's a much better student than I gave him credit for. I'm sure he could get very far if he applied himself a little more. Hey, Yuichi-san? Yeah? Well, what is it? I got finished with my history homework and decided to get started on the math, but I'm not good with calculus, so... This might be a stupid question, but what's a sine and a cosine? That's not even calculus, that's trigonometry. Oh, really? Then what about a hypotenuse? I take back what I said before. This is going to be more work than I thought. Oh god, why did schools have to invent homework? Yes, how dare they want to make sure their students are learning? Don't patronize me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Of course you do. Hey, June, your mom tells me Yuichi-kun is visiting. Oh, it's true, you really are here. Oh no. Hello, sir. I'm sorry for the He immediately walks up to me and shakes my hand enthusiastically. I'm so glad to have gotten to see you in the flesh again. You're so much more imposing than I remembered. I still can't believe my son is really friends with you. I'm happy to be your son's friend, sir. Dad, please stop. You're creeping Yuichi-san out. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to offend. No, you're fine, sir. This is your house, after all. Which, by the way, I've already asked you tons of times to knock before you come in, Dad. It's like, no, water time. Why? It's not like you've got something to hide. That's not the point. It's the expectation of privacy. What if I were getting changed? What if I had just gotten out of the shower? But I knew you had a friend over, so of course that wouldn't be true. Yeah, I'm sure this time, but this is hardly the first time this happens. And you have walked in on me when I was changing before. The older tiger shrugged, staring at his son with a dumb smile on his face. A smile that I know well, because it's exactly like the one his son wears. So what? It's not like you're packing anything I've never seen before. Besides, you've seen me naked many times before. Wait, seriously? Unfortunately, yes, but only because he has a tendency of walking around in the house in no clothes, or leaving the bathroom door unlocked, or not closing his bedroom door when he changes. It's not like I have anything to hide. That's not the point. The point is that I don't want to see you naked, damn it. Geez, you're so fussy. I wonder what side of the family you got that from. Certainly wasn't mine. June's now doing breathing exercises while father laughs at his own jokes. Yeah, I can definitely see how this sort of behavior could get on someone's nerves. Oh, right, it's already late, Yuichi-kun. Would you like to have dinner with us? Oh, I really shouldn't. Like he said, it's pretty late and I don't want to intrude. Don't be silly, it's no problem. We'd be delighted to have you with us. But... Yuichi-san, I know it sucks for me to ask, but I still haven't finished my homework either. Could you stay until I'm done? Math is my worst subject, and I left it for last. I don't think I'll be able to do it without your help. Right, that's true. We're not done yet. See, that's the perfect opportunity. You can have dinner with us, and then continue working on it with June. By the way, are you two doing homework together, or are you just helping June? I'm helping him deal with the surplus of homework he let pile up. I thought you told me you were dealing with it as you were getting it. Gah! Well, you see... The tiger shakes his head. Don't be lazy, June. At least do your work diligently. Yes, Dad. Well, now that this is dealt with, your mother says dinner will be ready in about 10 minutes. Please join us, Yuichi-kun. Yeah, I think I'll take you up on your offer after all. I can't quite leave June with his homework unfinished. I have a feeling that the instant I walked out the door, he just put it aside and forget it existed. Considering what I've seen from him so far, I really can't allow him to pass up any opportunities to improve on his studies. No one needs a 20-year-old high school student, after all. By the way, Kobayashi-san. Oh, please, feel free to call me Atsushi. There's no real point calling anyone by their last name here, Yuichi-san. We're all Kobayashi, after all. I guess that's true. He's never called me Aki. He's never called Aki by his last name either, so I suppose I should try to treat his family with the same courtesy. Atsushi-san, you're a police officer, aren't you? Oh, June's told you about my job? No, actually, that was just a guess of mine. Although I did have it confirmed after I first asked. Guess? How are you able to guess? No, wait, don't tell me. It's because of my cop aura, right? I just scream of law enforcement, don't I? That has to be it. Ha ha ha. Dad! He really seems to be enthusiastic about his job, at least. Actually, it's because of your police cap. I think you were using it when I saw you last. Oh shoot, I always forget to take it off. Ugh, I've already been gotten chewed out by my superiors over this so many times before, too. He puts on a squeaky, high-pitched tone of voice, like a child mocking something someone else has said. This certainly isn't the most flattering display. Kobayashi, you're not supposed to go out in public wearing your cap if you don't have your uniform. You're not on the clock, is what they'd say. I have to say I agree with them. More importantly, how does he even manage to forget a cap on his head? Does he never change shirts? They can't all be button-up shirts, can they? Airheaded, jokey, somewhat childish. I really see who June takes after. Yui-san was right on the mark when she said the two are more alike than June realizes. Second, y'all. Water time. Mother always knows best, huh? Anyway, I'm going to go kiss the cook before dinner is ready. See you kids in a few minutes. Atsushi-san winks at us and leaves the room with an exaggerated waving gesture. You see what I mean? No common sense. Is that so? You really not want to talk at all, June. Still, seeing your dad like that, it kind of makes me happy. Huh? Why? You guys just seem so close. I can't help but smile when I think about it. What? What's so special about that? We're a regular family. This kind of thing is normal, isn't it? At least one would hope so, but it's not always the case. You and Sai are pretty much the only ones who have perfectly normal, ordinary families like that. We are? Yeah, they might not talk much about it, but both Keisuke and Shuichi have serious problems with their families. Shuichi's parents are divorced, and because of it, he barely sees his mom and sister. And Keisuke hasn't seen his mother in years, not to mention the fact that he doesn't even speak to his father or grandmother. I hadn't really considered that. My family has always been like this, so I never bothered to think about how things would be if they weren't. That's called taking things for granted. But what about you, Yuichi-san? You said Mizuguchi-san and I are the only ones with normal families, but as far as I know, you also have a loving family. Loving doesn't mean normal. I don't have a father anymore, remember? I'm sorry, I didn't even think... Relax, this sort of thing doesn't bother me. I already told you that before. But that's kind of my point. You'd think families like yours would be the norm, but that's not really always the case. It just makes me happy to see such a tight-knit, loving family like that. You're really lucky. Yuichi-san? I guess you're right. There we go. He's been so stressed and looking so serious all day. The glimpses I got of his smile weren't nearly as frequent as I'm accustomed to. Someone like you really should be smiling more often. That smile really suits you, June. Anyway, how about we take a break from all this homework and go eat? Okay. We walk out into the living room just as Yui-san is setting up the dinner table. Atsushi-san is sitting in front of the TV watching some news report. Unbelievable! They're going to up the public transport fare again. You already knew this was bound to happen sooner or later. Yeah, but still, it's the second increase in 3 years. I, for one, think it was a miracle that the fare has kept steady for that long. The entire world's economy is going through a crisis, after all. Atsushi-san grumbles unhappily at his wife's words. Oh, hey, you changed your shirt, Dad? Yeah, your mother made me get changed. Of course I did. Did you see how filthy his other shirt was? That is unacceptable when we have guests over. Why only when you have guests over? Mom actually complains about it all the time, but he just responds that he doesn't have to look good for anyone in his own home. She's just using you as an excuse to have him get changed. Ooh. She is much more sly than I thought she'd be. I guess you have to be if you want to bring order to a household that has both June and his dad in it. By the way, Dad, how was work today? Did you make any arrests? Upon hearing his son's question, Atsushi-san makes a long, exaggerated sigh, shaking his head with much gusto. Unfortunately not. People seem to be sticking with the law much more frequently these days. Why do you say that as if it were a bad thing? As a cop, shouldn't that make you happy? Oh, don't worry. I'm sure someone's bound to do something bad at some point, and then you can bust them. Yes, that's what I keep telling myself every day. Fingers crossed for some big robbery. Maybe a murder if I get lucky. What the hell is wrong with this family? I will not have such morbid conversation at the dinner table, you two. But no one's sitting at the table yet. I don't care. You two just stop talking about murders. In fact, stop wishing for any crime to happen entirely. Thank you. At least there's a voice of reason in this household. How she manages to put up with the two of them is beyond my understanding. Yui-san just might have the patience of a saint. Either way, the food is at the table. Why don't we all eat now? Okay. Pardon the intrusion. Oh, it's not intrusion at all. It's our pleasure to have you over again, Yuichi. Everything on the table looks delicious. There's one thing I know after having dinner before is that Yui-san is a wonderful cook. There you go, water time. Alright, y'all, last couple minutes, let's make it count. I really can't wait to dig in. I just hope I don't look too eager. Oh, Yui, you made yakiniku. Yakiniku. What's the occasion? There's no occasion. I just wanted to cook something extra tasty since we have a visitor. I even used the best meat we had. Ooh, I was already feeling impatient since you wouldn't use it. Of course, good meat is supposed to be saved for guests or special occasions. Is that so? I'm not sure if I should feel guilty for getting them to waste their good food on me or not. Dad is grateful that you're having dinner with us because that means he gets to eat good meat. Oh, I see. At least I don't have to worry about that anymore. We all take our seats at the table. Here's your plate, Yuichi-san. Eat as much as you'd like. Thanks. Hey, Yuichi-kun. You don't mind if I ask you a few questions, do you? Oh, is this an interrogation officer? Ha! Of course not. I wouldn't trust Dad's word on that. If you say yes to this, he's gonna have you answering questions all night. Hey, that's not true. I'm a little scared now. I'm not that bad. That's a little hard to believe. Gah! June, don't tease your father. Me? Teasing? I would never. You've become a lot more snarky lately. What's been happening to you? I have no idea what you're talking about. I do. It's called bad influences. Anyway, sure, you can ask me anything, Atsushi-san. Oh, yay! Yay? I never thought I'd see the day where I'd see a grown man pumping his fists in the air and shouting yay. Okay, so there are lots of things I'm curious about. Here we go. But I'm going to keep myself under control and only ask you a couple of questions. Sure you are. Come on, June, at least have some faith in your good old father here. Give me a reason to, and I will. Ugh! It's like two old ladies having an argument. This is surreal. Alright. I'll just ask one question. Is that better for you? I really doubt you will. So do I. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.